The Chassam Sofer in this week's Parsha points out a fascinating idea. The Parshas that we're dealing with last week and this week's Parsha discuss two things, Shabbos Kodesh and the Mishkan. What's the connection? Why does the Torah constantly mention Shabbos and the Mishkan together? Explains the Chassam Sofer as follows. Building the Mishkan was one of the greatest things that a person could do. In fact, the Gemara says, it's almost like the creation of Shemayim Ba'aretz, the universe itself. The creation of the Mishkan and the utensils in it was amazing. However, a person with his excitement to build the Mishkan might want to build the Mishkan even on Shabbos Kodesh, and therefore, explains the Chassam Sofer, the Torah put Shabbos Kodesh right next to the Mishkan to say no. However important it is to build a Mishkan, you cannot do it on Shabbos, because Shabbos is even greater than the Mishkan. So we have the Mishkan, which is level number one, and then we have Shabbos Kodesh, which is greater than the building of the Mishkan. You cannot build a Mishkan on Shabbos. Explains the Chassam Sofer, we go a step further. What is even greater than Shabbos Kodesh? A human being. Why? Because Shabbos Kodesh can be desecrated. You can mechal Shabbos in order to save a Jewish life. That means, explains the Chassam Sofer, that a human being life is actually more precious than Shabbos Kodesh. So therefore, the building of the Mishkan is amazing. Shabbos Kodesh, even greater. But yet, even greater than all of that is a human being. Because every human being has intrinsic, incredible value. And we have to realize our value. We have to realize what we have within us. Around the time when the KGB were ruling Russia, they were running around Russia confiscating money from anybody that had more than anybody else. And they found out that there was a particular Yid that had more money than anybody else. They ransacked his home and they found $100,000 in cash, which in those days was worth probably nowadays millions of dollars. And they confiscated it from him and they said, tomorrow we're coming to get you. So this man was petrified. Once the KGB said they're going to get you, there's nowhere to run to. So he realized that he had another half of his fortune, which the KGB didn't find, stashed away. He had another $100,000 stashed away. What's he going to do? So he figured he's going to give it to his son. But he couldn't tell his son, because if you tell his son, there's KGB microphones all over the place. They'll figure it out, or they'll torture his son. They'll find out the information. So he had to give it to his son in a way that his son wouldn't realize, but he would actually receive the money. So he took a belt and he opened up the stitching of this belt. And he painfully stuck the money, stitched the money within the belt. And he sewed it up, no one would have known anything. And then, as the KGB walked in, he gives his son the belt and he said, my dear son, this belt is your ticket to becoming rich. Keep this belt, never take it off, never sell it, never give it away, because this belt will make you rich. The son takes the belt, puts it on, says goodbye tearfully to his father. His father gets dragged away by the KGB, and every single day, this boy wears the belt. After many years of trying to make a parnasa unsuccessfully, he takes the belt and he said, what's the use of this belt? It's not working. My father promised me riches, but it hasn't come. He takes the belt and he throws it to the floor. As it hits the floor, one of the stitches opens up and reveals some of the money. The boy opens up the rest of the belt and finds $100,000 in cash. And he has that money, which he never realized was always on him the whole time. We all have so much intrinsic value, and the Rabbi Shalom just wants us to use it. We have to realize that, like Chassam Sofer says in this week's parasha, the greatest thing in the world is a human being, greater than the Mishkan and greater than Shabbos Kodesh. If only we would use our value and would use the koiches that the Rabbi Shalom gave us, we can go tremendously far. Have a beautiful Shabbos.